I think that generally we live in a world that goes too fast and we don't take time to pause and consider what's going on. To me, Pilates and moving to New Brunswick are very much linked in that it's more about the pace of life and what you're doing with your time. In 2016, just after the Brexit referendum, my husband and I, and well, our entire family were pretty disappointed with the result and the fact that the country was going in a very different direction to what I had signed for, because being French, I had moved to the UK because I had freedom of movement. And suddenly I felt that this was taken away from us. We had been to Montreal years before, pre-kids, and we loved it. And we always thought that maybe at some point we'd move to Canada, but we never really did anything about it. It's one of those dreams that might never materialize. And then a friend of mine said, have you thought about New Brunswick? And I said, no, I haven't, because I have no idea where it is. So then I had a look on a map and I started doing some research. And I thought, well, this looks very nice. And we just loved it. And yeah, the rest is history. We started our application process for permanent residency. So what I love about living here, lack of traffic, that's a big one. The outdoors. I think I always thought of myself as a bit outdoorsy. Turns out, being in New Brunswick, I'm a lot outdoorsy. I just come home to change clothes, sleep. The rest of the time, if I can be outdoors, I'm outdoors. I love skiing, hiking, biking, you name it. There's just endless possibilities. We have amazing trails in Fredericton. The weather is very, very pleasant. Yes, it can get cold, but I don't mind the cold. And in fact, to me, it's more like home, like the Auvergne in France. You come to New Brunswick not because you're expecting like the huge buzz of a bigger city, but you can still get this. You can still get a lot of culture through festivals and plays and music. But equally, if you're really outdoorsy, this is going to be a playground for you. There's just so much to do. In terms of the quality of life that we have gained, it is incomparable. There is really the opportunity to eat very, very well here. My favorite place is Milda's Pizzas. I really like the Mitzi Lebanese and the Tipsy Muse, which is a great place for a coffee and a chat and also gigs, you know, like small, intimate musical gigs. And the Radical Edge Bike and Ski Shop, which is where it's a lethal place for me. It's very dangerous. Each time I go in there, I'm finding it very difficult not to come back with loads of gear. I used to be a university professor teaching French literature. I had been doing Pilates as a client for several years. I knew how good it was for me, and I just fancied a change for the better. And it was all part of this getting a better quality of life altogether. And so I initially worked for a bigger studio in town, and I really enjoyed it. But I have a very entrepreneurial fiber, and I knew that I wanted to be my own boss. This is how the idea for Integrity Pilates germinated. With COVID as well, I realized that there was potentially a need for smaller settings, that some people feel more comfortable exercising by themselves with just one coach rather than with a lot of people around them. Sometimes you hit a stumbling block, and then you can choose to see it as a big obstacle, or you can choose to see it as an opportunity for growth. New Brunswick is a great place to open a business, I find, because there's a lot of small businesses and a great community. People aren't there looking at each other as competitors. I think there's enough work for everyone, and I just love the support that we get from each other. So this is a classical or authentic Pilates studio, meaning that all the apparatus that you see in the studio is standard build. So if you go to another authentic studio, you will see the same dimensions, and the springs are very similar. The way Pilates works is all of these different pieces of apparatus work together, so you can do certain movement on different pieces of apparatus and they will feel different because it will move in a different plane or in a slightly different way, or with a bigger or smaller amount of resistance. So it's all part of a puzzle, and when you have all of the pieces of the puzzle, it actually makes the experience even better. Pilates is for everyone and everybody. So whether your body is that of an athlete, is deconditioned, or you're somewhere in the middle, Pilates is for you. It just is a method of core conditioning that just makes you stronger and better and smarter at moving. The best way of getting in touch is through my website, which is integritypilates.ca. So I would tell others looking for a change to just do it. Do your research so that you know what you're going for, and then pack up your suitcases and come here. There is just so many opportunities to be outdoors and to discover and to just have an amazing quality of life.